Greetings, I am Lies and I use she, her.
And I am Scandal and I use they, them.
And let's play a game together!
Yeah!
He strides shyly past the princesses, but when he catches sight of me, his face splits in the brilliant smile.
The most brilliant smile, he looks so embarrassed about
I was going to say, clearly this is the brilliant smile.
Why?
That is also not a brilliant smile?
Nope, that's just it. Go, honey. Wow. I didn't even recognize you at first.
It's a towel on my hair, isn't it?
I did not even... Wait, what?
Oh, sorry. I was thinking the same thing. I guess, except for I recognized him instantly at the top of the stairs. Think? He looks like a whole new person.
No longer raggedy.
I say, I would tend to think you would need to redo his hair to make him look like a whole new person.
I would think so, new person. I think part of the thing is that they have to say the hair change for the thing because they only had one idea.
They only have two styles.
They only have two styles.
Two styles.
Asra's hair is unstylable. He has one or
you
two.
either slick it back to control it completely, or it's this.
Or it explodes.
That's it. I don't know. It is kind of a cute mess at all times, but also like, I see that they did not dry your hair either.
Oh, congratulations! Nobody dry your
That's
hair.
it.
No person.
I like this. I don't like this. What? Why wouldn't you just say, hi, hello?
I'm also like...
What he said is, I didn't recognize you. I like this. Like, because we're responding not to our thoughts, but to what he said.
No, because that was not the last thing said. The last thing said was going that he looks like a whole new person.
That wasn't said out loud.
No, I know, but we're responding in our head. We're saying that out loud. That's the thing we're saying. I have learned this about the way the Arcana writes.
But that's really
They can only keep one previous sentence in their head.
Because we would be responding to what he said out loud, where he's like, I almost didn't recognize you. And you look like a whole new person.
Imagine you respond going, I like this.
Okay, thank you. And then
My
you
friend,
don't
you
even
kinda-
react to what he says.
No, not even slightly.
You say, I like this
move
instead.
on.
Okay. Thank you.
Kohai would never fucking be like, I don't like this. It's just Asra. I like more of Asra. Can I have Asra?
Also wouldn't be, you think I look nice? I don't like that.
Yeah, I know.
But you almost didn't recognize me. Well, I don't like this. I want you to recognize me. Okay, we like it. It's fine.
It's fine.
They like it.
I like this.
I like this. I have never seen him this way. He takes pride in every movement.
What?
So his behavior is now different, and his
Hang on.
comportment is now
Asra's
different?
never had pride in the way that he looks or how he acts, or you're kidding.
He has never had pride in his movements before.
What?
He has never
That seems very not Asra.
comported himself regally before.
So it means before he's comported himself like a peasant?
Like a mess.
Like a mess.
Disaster.
See, Corazon was right. He's a disaster.
Corazon.
You don't take pride. You do not take pride in anything you do. You are fucking embarrassing.
I know.
No, he is beautiful. Leave him alone.
No, he's precious. I protect him. You are Mimi.
So
So mean.
Yes, you are mean to me. Why are you so mean? Corazon. Good job, Dad.
Every movement. I've never seen him do that ever.
Thanks. You look beautiful.
What
Completely
are you
wearing?
Completely recovered. You look beautiful. Mop of damp hair. Thank you.
Asra, whatever you look like.
He's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. Which can be really cute, but also at the same time can be incredibly like placating or frustrating. Because sometimes people go like, I don't like this. And they go, I'm so sorry they weren't able to do it. I like the remainder of what you're wearing.
I think they specified in our room that we do like the outfit that Nadia gave us, so the player doesn't get to choose.
The player does not get to choose, and we did talk about embroidery that was far more complex.
And was very much like the clothing we normally wear. And so to our tastes.
I know.
And suddenly we know we wear embroidery all the time.
And also that Nadia knows immediately what our tastes are, despite the fact that if I was guessing correctly, we haven't fucking changed styles or clothes at all.
And so if we jump back to Nadia's route, Corazon is like, see, embroidery on everything. Embroider your things. Decorate, embellish, do it.
It's very important to have details.
Yes, details. You look beautiful.
Asra dies!
Right, Asra.
Look at the dead!
I am embarrassed. I am completely recovered to compliment you.
You look-
I am embarrassed again.
Flattened.
You look great. Thank you. You're gorgeous.
falls over, explodes.
Asra freezes, turns to stone, cracks apart, turns to dust and blows away.
With hearts. Like dust hearts, though. Like,
I can't control the levy hearts. Okay, I have to recommend an anime for one convention. I'm not recommending the whole anime, but I'm recommending it for one convention, okay? So in Maid Sama, all the little tropes that they do where the extreme anime expressions happen, where people do in fact like turn to stone, or they freeze, they get hit by lightning, or they turn into a weird blobby chibi, the characters in the world can see it happen.
yes.
And so they all react to it.
It is not just an emotional convention in order to convey
to the viewer,
what
but it's happening in world and they react to it, and it's very fun.
Another good example of that is actually Oron Host Club,
They
where they
too.
also do react to going, how the fuck did that happen? Where did that come from? Like, it's very funny.
Yeah, they also react to it, but it's different flavors, but it's really fun. There's at one point where someone really does just get super depressed and turn into a blob in Maid Sama, and someone walks in and they're like, oh my god, I almost tripped over this. What is this shapeless blob on the floor?
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. All right. You look beautiful.
I feel a little strange. The servants treated me so differently in the hall just now.
There were servants in the hall where? I've never seen them.
I don't know what servants are! Speak to me! I only heard about a guard!
You mean Portia treated you differently or looked at you differently? Portia, the servant that is not a servant? The
I
one?
also, find that to be really weird. Asra seems to be really deep. Okay, he has literally said that Nadia has styled him amazingly before. So he remembers Nadia also beating his ass in regards to the styling game, and she won a perfect 100, and he has done badly in his own thoughts by comparison, so he would experience basically the servants have treated me so differently in the hall before. Just now, they would have treated you differently before as well, sir.
Maybe all of the servants have one memory loss, or two are all completely new hires and none of them know him either, but the fact that it's never been mentioned how the servants treat him previously means that this doesn't mean anything to us.
Yeah, I'm also like, this is really strange, because they've also never treated him poorly before, because the thing of them reacting to a dude barging in and somehow
mysteriously
and going to just go see Nadia, the guards being that aggressive, is not about the fact that he is gross or weird or anything else. It was about the fact that you had a dude blaze through the castle and be very dramatic and potentially threatening towards the Countess.
I say,
that doesn't work for me.
Additionally, those weren't just servants.
No, those were guards.
Those were guards.
Yeah, I don't understand what this has to do with
this
anything.
feels like it should be paying off or adding into something, but we've had no setup for this.
Yeah, this is
like,
weird.
Do the servants treat him in any way at all, honestly?
Because we only have, honestly, Portia as a, quote, servant.
And she seems to treat him well.
Yeah.
She seems to think he's great.
Other than having literally the romantic trope of I'm barging in on you to see what you're doing, which was weird. I like royalty. I feel like I should treat you the same. I recovered again! God, I am really good at, losing blood from my face.
I'm very bad at receiving compliments. So bad it would change my physiological state, but I'm so good at giving them I can get myself back under control immediately as long as I shift gears.
Aha!
Haha! I say, I feel like I should treat you the same. You want to treat me like royalty?
Yes.
Okay. So...
Nadia, stick her head in. Nadia, I'm sorry, I remember I exist now. Hang on, my battery got changed out because she did disappear.
Preparations for the masquerade are reaching the final finishing stages.
Well, good to know this is not the masquerade then.
Yeah.
Thanks.
This room remains, so it will be transformed. Soon. Soon. Wall to wall with the most dizzying revelry. Revelry is people. So she's saying the room will be transformed by the party happening in it.
No. So I was about to say, soon it will be transformed wall to wall, the most dizzying revelry. Unless, there is an older usage of revelry. Yeah, I always thought revelry was the partying itself. The people involved in partying.
The people do.
It's about the activity of partying. The revelry was very loud and bright and fantastic. It's all about everything altogether. It's not decorations.
Unless
I'm wrong, I can't look it up right now. But
all the other rooms have been transformed. This one will be transformed, but it will be transformed by the party itself, is what she's saying.
Yes.
By the people in it, because right now it's pretty damn empty. That is what I get from dizzying revelry. It's not decorations, she's talking about the people.
Have you been dancing, Gohan? honing your steps.
Actually, I just learned right now that we are about to have the ball soon, so no, I have practiced nothing at all, and I also didn't know that practicing would be important for me, because I did not know it would be
Because also, like,
expected.
she hired me to be a murder investigator, not
a ball attendee or a dancer.
So what are we talking about?
And unless there is some sort of protocol that I am aware of or not aware of, or aware of that I would be expected to dance because that is something you have to do as a guest, then I would not be practicing dancing. No, not at all. Not enough, since this is clearly assumed. Let
Nix,
me
quietly.
Go ahead.
Not enough, because now I
And
realize that...
Make you think that I've been practicing at all. Someone, so how's that homework assignment coming? Right along.
Which honestly could work really well, but there's no process to this, so this is very silly.
I send a look at Asra, and he returns with a...
That he returns.
He returns with a flustered smile. Princess Navra clicks her tongue. Dance is spontaneity. Dance is the body taking control back from the mind. There are no steps.
Hang on.
She does improv.
Hang on.
What?
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 Okay, so I find that to be really interesting based on, like, their garb and inspiration. I'm like, dance itself is made up of multiple steps, actually, and you can basically form a new dance, but by putting different steps in a line together. So, like, especially for the culture that I assume all of this is based on, like, especially her, she looks basically very much like she's from India. If that makes sense. And they have a very rich culture of dancing, actually. And yeah, they have spontaneous dances and stuff like that, but they're very specific moves that do specific things. Like,
I feel like this is her personal opinion and someone's about to contradict her. I feel like this is her going, no, just feel your way through the movements, because no matter what I've been taught, no matter what I've been exposed to, no matter what my culture is, I'm going, yeah, you could just get on the floor and move. It could also be an opinion in the sense of, if I am so steeped in knowing how to dance, because it's been a part of my culture, part of my family, part of my upbringing.
you just dance!
Then I don't think of those as being steps. I think of the organized direction of a named dance as steps.
Ah, okay.
So it can also be a level of privilege of going, there are no steps, because you associate steps with this is specifically a box step. This is specifically you're dancing ballroom. This is specifically you're dancing jazz. This is specifically you're dancing this thing, or you're doing the tango. The tango obviously has steps because it has to have these 45 things done. But just dancing doesn't have steps, even if you're literally doing little steps.
Okay, I could see that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I just like...
But I think that's her opinion.
Yeah, that's fine. And again, you can have characters that do that, but it's also like anybody having any culture at all. Okay, so here's part of my problem sometimes with what seems to come up. There is this inherent thing of going, we're going to contradict something, even though there's nothing to contradict. Does that make sense? Like, it feels like a contradictory opinion.
Have you been practicing your dance? There's no need to practice at all.
Yeah, exactly. And you're kind of like, we didn't even...
If you are both educational narrators, as everyone in the story has seemed to be so far, who then is right?
Yeah, exactly.
Both.
So that's kind of like my thing of just going like, there's this weird level of like, just assuming that everybody, like, for example, like, you know, we just all know how to dance or whatever, but there is no stated.
I will have to say that while there's sort of a feel of don't trust everyone, and specifically in this route saying we can't trust people, so the three of us, Nadia and Kohai and Asra, are keeping sort of their own counsel and a secret together, if you will. There is still a sense of, while people might be lying to you or like trying to misdirect you in one way or another, when they tell about the world and the culture, they seem to all be telling the blanket truth.
Yeah.
Like someone might say, I can't tell you whether I was there or not, but that has nothing to do with the actual like function of the world. And so if they do say, oh, it's in the portrait gallery, they're not going to be lying about it being the portrait gallery.
Yeah, that's true. Also, okay, so this line, I know you haven't said it yet.
I haven't.
But the thing is like, just say it real quick. I'm having...
Kohai? Asra? If you would like to take the floor, we shall see to the music.
So remember in NADIA'S route where we were forced basically to have to dance with one of the sisters?
Yes.
Why is it here? They go, oh no, it's fine. You can just dance with each other.
Because Asra wasn't there yet? He came into the room later?
No, but Nadia was your love interest in that one. Remember how I even complained about it, going, why would Corazon wouldn't dance with the other people?
Yes, I say, why wouldn't you dance with one of the sisters also in this route? Again, though,
also, in the other route, she doesn't even bring up going, just feel things. They are very specific about you have to dance in a very specific way. And I understand that's NADIA'S thing, right?
Right.
But it's still like, you're still a particularly like honored guest of the Countess. Wouldn't they also care about that?
I say the thing is
I
one, you want different content in each of your routes. Two, if they wrote this one first, they could have gone, let's add more things to another one to diversify it some.
Yeah, but
Because
like,
a lot of people go, if it's a full route, rather than just making choices in the same story, it has to feel a little different. Otherwise, you're playing the same stuff over and over again.
No, I get that. But like, I feel like you should have a reason for that, rather than just going, let's just blindly throw... Again, this makes these not feel like characters. They're just sort of
Can we
strange
make
little
them
archetypes.
be consistent people throughout the different routes? That'd be really nice. Even if they say different lines, they should have the same
Well,
values
because the
and
thing is
opinions.
obviously the situations are going to change because you're going to make different choices, but they should still feel like consistent characters from one route to the other.
Yeah.
That's basically my concern at this point, is going, what irritated me about NADIA'S, where I was going, okay, well, then we're going to have to dance with them, and then now it's like, no, you guys should totally dance together. When it sounds like, honestly, no, like you almost even had a thought of going, am I going to dance with them?
Am I going
Like,
to
because
learn or
also them
practice
going,
this?
you guys should take the floor. Like, you specifically, go, hi, Asra, if you would like to take the floor, like, we're trying to direct you to do this thing
Next
on
question,
purpose.
if she's saying, we shall see to the music, does she mean they play something and they have instruments in this room? Because it's empty except for all of us.
I don't know.
Runs out of the room, gathers an orchestra really quickly, drags it back into the room. Okay, here we go. It was
Here we are.
45 minutes later, you both just stood there. They will see to the music, it's fine.
Asra,
It's okay. It's okay. Everyone ran out to go see to the music. They will be back soon. So
Nice,
clearly this is a
yeah.
premium scene while we are alone in this room waiting for the music.
Yay.
Because every time we are alone, that is the
The
options.
premium scene.
While Nara sweeps the other princesses up in her enthusiasm, Asra and I wander onto the sprawling dance floor, which I kind of assume we were already on. Because it seems like the entire thing is a dance floor. Maybe it is not all dance floor and there's a designated dance floor area. Interesting.
Weird.
Even in the grand ballroom, it's not all for ball.
I thought the sides that were, like, the parts that weren't were literally where the columns are. That's usually, like, either directly in front of it.
So he came
or
in on
around
the
it.
stairs and walked down
all the way
over into a corner, walked all the way across it and down into a corner under the columns, where we are
So
all
like
standing.
an edgelord, he went a really far way around.
Yes.
Okay. We've been so wrapped up in things that I neglected the most important thing of all.
Which is?
Spending time with you. This is our first masquerade together for you, right?
Asra?
Hmm?
We have been spending all of our time together over the last few days. We've barely been parted, so I do not feel neglected. At all.
That is actually a weird thing. We haven't been paying attention to each other.
I haven't been spending time with you. We just took a bath together shortly ago. And we did like a kind of a seance together shortly after that.
And before that, we
And I
went to
guess-
help the village
I guess
together.
the only thing we did.
We also rode a beast together.
You know what we didn't do together? We did not get dressed together because we were in separate rooms. It has been forever. I'm so glad you're ready to pay attention to me again. Yes, thank you.
I understand it's supposed to be romantic, but I find it to be very silly.
Yes.
Because it also,
It's
again,
like we've had the whole thing together all the time, especially again, this is pretty close to one, the bath, because it's still the same day, and two, the time we were together doing the sort of seance thing, pacifying the ghost.
And also, I really have to say, due to the way that this game is written, I really don't honestly feel like I've honestly spent much time with anybody else.
Nope. This
Like,
one you
to be
leave
perfectly clear,
and be with just him, so more than anybody else you are alone with Astra from the other two routes we've played. Because with Nadia, there's always other
No,
people
I'm thinking about
showing up.
Julian.
With Julian, you have Mazalinka there. You go into the bar with other people.
Oh, there's
you're
your sister.
You're down in the market with other people. There's the other sisters. There's the other
That's
sibling there.
true.
You meet people consistently.
Yeah, okay, that's
Even
fair.
the guards chasing you. You're not alone until you get away from them.
I know, right?
Uh-huh.
And then he tries to kill you with a flower.
Additionally, when you go down into the dungeon, also
Valdemar fucking shows up.
No, not that dungeon. Sorry, the Colosseum.
Done.
The cells.
There's the guard, and also
there's the
Nadia.
guard and the person who escorted you. Like, you're not
Yeah.
alone as often at all as like with Julian. Even, and one of the things we've mentioned constantly was there are people really close by, and you want to make out right here,
Yeah.
like
oh,
in the
that's
theater,
true.
in the theater too. You know?
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
So no, we didn't.
Yeah, I will definitely though say that this is very dumb for me because I'm just like, you spent Astra's basically not left you alone
At all. It's
except
fine.
in the prologue, and that's like,
And also, just now when you got dressed.
we
All right. Together.
right.
Right.
It's going to be a memorable one.
As long as my memory is intact, yes.
That's what makes it memorable.
Perfect. As music begins to swell from somewhere,
My butt.
I say all princesses are beatboxing.
I would be so into that. That would be so cool.
Music begins to swell from somewhere. He takes my hands and guides them to his hips. He is very confident because he is leading things, but if I then do grab his hips, he's going to be a mess, I think. Okay, so just for a second, there's this movie that I enjoy. I haven't seen it for several years, but I really enjoy it. It's called The Mirror Has Two Faces. It's an unconventional romance, okay? And that you have two level-headed, scientific, down-to-earth university professors kind of thing, where one of them is where both of them in their own ways are trying not to be romantic because romantic is a crock and doesn't work out, right? And at one point, she's actually in her, the woman is actually in her class describing the experience that is in stories where, you know, the music swells and the camera angle shifts and this and that, and it never happens in real life. And then they create a diegetic experience within it where it does happen the first time they really get into each other, because they the two love interests, when they reconcile themselves dramatically in the streets, as you do, one of the neighbors who supports them just puts on sweeping opera music as it happens. It's amazing.
Aww.
And so both of them were like, what the fuck? You have the sweeping music of the... Oh my god, it's really cute. It's very cute.
That's adorable.
So then the thing of, this never happens, got to happen. It was cute.
That's cute.
Guys, I'm on his hips. If I have both of my hands on his hips while I am facing him, I am not going to be doing as many steps because he can't guide me with his arms. He can only gently, like, move my shoulders, maybe? Because, like, we don't have our arms together at all, so he can't move my arms. In most of the things that you do with dance, unless it's a very small boxed movement, you have to have the mobility of being able to shift each other's arms.
Also, like, depending on your type of dance, I actually always thought, like, a lot of other dances outside of, like a lot of, like, European dances, or basically what America's used to, you know, the United States is used to, there's actually not a lot of, like, I'm touching you. There's a lot of, I'm near you.
There's a lot of that. So a lot of cultural
I'm
dances
mirroring
are near you.
or sharing, or I'm doing opposite of you, or like...
But I also have seen a lot of cultural dances where you hold both hands.
You go like this.
And in ballroom dancing, you obviously don't do that. You have, you know, one hand on each of
Well, that's what I mean. Like,
but I mean, there are a lot of dances where even like in the tango, you're often holding just two hands.
Right.
Kind of thing. Anyway.
It's just palm to palm.
So,
basically.
On hips.
Yes.
When I dig my thumbs into his waist for purchase...
What?
Because without moving, I suddenly feel unsteady and need balance, I think. How would I dig my thumbs into his waist?
Ow!
Not,
you mean into the clothing?
Do you mean grip him firmly? Digging your thumbs in sounds rough.
Ow!
I think I would just grip him firmly. Let's say
when I grip him more firmly.
When I firmly clasp my hands to his waist,
he grins.
He grins. That's it. I reject the thumbs.
That just sounds painful. Don't worry about fancy footwork. Do what feels natural. I'll follow.
You want me to drag you around by your hips because I'm going to lead and you're going to follow.
Do you not remember that I have also taught you how to dance and ride horses and also batter and also do all the things that we've...
And swim.
And swim.
By holding your hips in my hands.
Yes.
Sorry, your waist.
Waist.
So I'm going to hold your waist and maybe grab your rib cage and lead you gently about the ballroom this way. That sounds so awkward. What kind of a dance is this?
I'm sorry.
Where do your hands go?
I'm sorry.
Puts his hands in the air, fiesta style.
I've really got to tell you that I find it to be funny as like people try to do it in dance, and I know it's supposed to be cute, and I get it, but like as somebody like who briefly had to learn dance, and they were specifically like, you need to learn to actually dance at the high school that I was at. Like they forced us to go to classes for us.
Right. It was a mandatory curriculum.
It was a mandatory thing, and it's like, even with sometimes the best dancer, you cannot make up for a poor partner because you cannot predict where they were going.
Well, and the thing is he's telling you to lead.
Yeah.
And apparently I would assume he's good at following. But again, leading someone with both your hands on their waist is not a dance style I'm familiar with at all.
And it would be cool if it was something else, yeah.
I want to look it up afterwards and see if that is a particular flavor of dance. And also, I would really like to know where his hands are. Because if his hands are just at his sides, and you're holding his waist, that is a very interesting start to a dance.
Mm.
And also, no fancy footwork, just do what feels natural. It feels like we're practicing something very specific based on this setup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll follow.
Back to the center of the ballroom. I take a step forward, my hands pushing him back on his waist gently as I move forward, and he steps back. In a flash, I'm spinning with my hands on his waist, and he's catching me by the hand which he pulls off of his waist and watching me with soft eyes aflame. So he says that I shall lead, and then immediately he cuts to leading, which sounds very like him, honestly.
Ow, but yes.
But
I'll let you do it.
Kohai! We are
Listen
going
to
to
me.
do this together. Allow me to direct the entire thing. Okay. Kohai, go and do this thing. I will now intervene at every point. Okay.
Ouch.
Kohai, you are going to do this thing. Other canon characters do so. Okay.
Yeah, ow.
So in a flash, I am spinning, though I am leading and I'm holding onto his waist. Can you imagine trying to spin someone when their hands are on your waist and you don't have your hands on them? Because Kohai is always mentioned when he's touching them.
Yes.
So he's not touching them, and they're trying to lead him back, and then immediately he takes and does a spin and just counts on that with your thumbs dug into his waist, you'll be able to be led around into a spin.
That's just weird.
That is my best guess
My whole
here.
brain is hurting right now. It's fine.
And then he's catching me by the hand, because apparently I lost grip on his waist, or he just removes what. Catching sounds like it was out in the air. I was flailing. It's
yeah,
fine.
it's a flail.
Flail.
In a flash, I'm spinning because he abruptly starts spinning me somehow. And I start flailing because holy shit, what just happened?
Because I was leading and then I wasn't.
Yeah.
He didn't look at me like this before. Or did he? The thought makes my heart jump.
Honestly, I don't know because I can't see because I'm spinning.
Also, I mean, he catches me and you stop spinning. That's when he catches you.
And he looks at you
into your
with
eyes.
heart aflame and you're like, what, Asra, what are we doing? Was I leading? Are you leading? What's going on?
One, I have forgotten that anyone was watching. Two, I don't care that I was leading or you were, because honestly, this happens all the time and I grew up with you.
Oh, that's
And
fair.
three, I think you probably have looked at me kind of like this before, but certainly not under these circumstances.
I was also going to say, actually, I think he truly has, because he has looked at us with many a horny
The
gaze.
smolder quite a few times.
Yeah, we've actually sort of been like, oh, the spicy look.
Uh-huh.
The smolder.
The thought makes my heart jump.
Right, don't make me do it. I'll do it. It is the small. Wow.
I stare at him with a look that I do not describe and feelings I do not tell you about. And he says...
And he's smoldering at you and then goes,
wow. But that is a question mark. A question.
Yes.
As a statement. How do you say what drawn out as a statement?
I don't know! I'm struggling!
You are.
I like how to... I can't...
What?
Drop it at the end so it doesn't sound like a question mark.
I don't know.
But that still sounds like a question to me.
It does. What is very much a question.
Because what is a question? It's a question. It's a sentence on its own.
He is now holding me, but I have not described it at all. He pulls us together, holding my hands. Now he's got both of my hands in his hands. High as he watches my feet and mirrors my steps.
You're not doing any...
Question. Imagine grabbing your partner's hands, holding them up in the air, and looking straight down at their feet. That image is falling down.
But I'm also like, he's looking straight down?
Yep.
I'm sorry.
I mean, he doesn't have to be looking straight down. You could be straight out.
He pulls us together. And he's looking...
He's looking into cleavage. Okay.
He's looking at his own titties.
He pulls...
What is going on?
Okay, but like, that's a really good point. He pulls us together. So your bodies are together.
And then holding our hands high.
And your hands are up. And then he's looking down. All he's seeing is
He's
titties.
looking at bobbins.
Nothing but titties.
He's like, oh yes, these boobs deserve to be next to each other, which is, next to his
Yeah,
tits.
because he's got titties and cleavage as well.
Uh-huh.
Again, we are pro-cleavage game. Pro-cleavage culture.
That's totally fine. Be pro-cleavage.
But I'm like, how does he see your feet after he's slammed you up against him, after he's pulled you together?
I don't know.
Maybe pulling us together means he pulls me nearer to him into a dance hold, question mark? Why did you start with my hands on your waist if you wanted to hold my hand? I'm confused. No, this is a standard dance step that I've learned with him many times because I did not seem concerned about it or confused in any way. And you, the reader, are the one who's having the problem.
It's your fault.
You
I know what's going on.
I know how he has taught me to dance. Okay. Mirroring
Which is to
my
say,
steps.
hellishly.
Which is to say with cleavage, pressed against cleavage. Bonk.
Bonk! abs.
When he looks down, he's looking around the cleavage and down.
That one looks so. Can you imagine? Boink! Him. Nadia, watch it for the size.
Okay, hands gripped up in the air, steeple style, right? Bending around the two of you as you're pressed together so he can see your footies.
As
Yes.
you're trying to do steps and knocking me.
Oh, God. This shouldn't be this funny. It is so funny.
Oh my god!
I'm trying to picture this.
I wish. Okay, so part of the reason why we're being mean about this is because when people start describing shit, you start going, you sound like you don't know what the fuck you're talking about at all.
See, I didn't think we were being mean. I think
No,
we were
no,
just
no.
taking it literally.
No, but I mean, even when you like take it literally and then you actually try to work it out, you go,
What's
you should not
happening?
have described this. You should have made this much more light.
Well, the thing is, they did in other things. He grabs me and leads me through a bunch of things. Like, there's no
Yeah.
specification of where or how and these things happen.
I'm like-
This one's gotten weirdly specific.
I'm also like, you should have then basically looked up various different like dances
Well,
and
that's what I
picked a
mean.
specific dance.
Perhaps they did, but it's one I've never heard of because I've never seen one where you start with both your hands on your partner's waist and them not touching you.
Right?
Wait, no, I might have. So there's a version of like I think it's like the rumba, where usually the lead, the male partner, starts with his hands on the hips and the woman starts just like slack waiting, but like lead with the hips kind of thing. And then he'll start moving her and then she'll start gesturing with her hands to show herself off, as you will. I think that's a thing that I remember from ballroom.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think if that's what they're thinking of, but then I don't think you do a lot of hand grabbing. That one's a lot. The rumba is also a lot of side-by-side dancing later on. And there is some definitely partner grabbing and swinging and swirling, but it's different. But I'm like, if he was setting you up to lead for a specific dance and then he went into something else, at any rate, in all the time we've spent together, you've never looked at me this way.
I say for the second time in this entire game.
I
Actually,
say,
to Asra's face.
I don't know if you've ever looked at me this way. Perhaps you did or not, and I have now made a decision. You did not.
You did not.
You have not.
Because now I've seen it in. Oh, okay.
You are looking at my feet. You've never looked at me this way.
Wow, Asra, you're smoldering in my toes.
I'm sorry. I think it's kind of cute. Honestly, if you had a little bit more lead up to that, it could be really cute because as his gaze turns down to watch my feet, I think about the look he just had on his face. I tell him, in all the time we spent together, you've never looked at me that way.
Yeah.
Instead of this way, the way
Or you
you're
could just say,
looking.
you never looked at me like that.
Like that, exactly. And then it doesn't specify a time. Because this way is very immediately right now, and it does say he's looking at our feet.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's fine. He loves our bare feet because the outfit does not specify to have shoes. Perhaps. We have, the bath slippers.
Naked footies.
Bath slippers.
I
think it
don't
was
think
the-
Nadia would let us go in bath slippers, though she does seem to like slippers herself.
But then, if she didn't give us shoes for the outfit, we probably wouldn't go barefoot, though, so we'd still have the slippers that went with the robe.
Oh, I think Nadia would have brought us shoes.
I think so, too. It just probably wasn't mentioned.
Yeah.
They're
Because,
part of an outfit.
like everything. Anyway, so thank you very much, everybody, for joining us.
Everybody, get with your closest friend, grab their hips, have them put their arms non-specified near you, and try to duplicate this dance and see how much fun you have, because this was hilarious.
Either that or, like, if you can actually find a dance that's even similar to this, I'd love to see it.
I would, actually. So if any of this sounds familiar to you, and it's just something that we're really not familiar with, I would also just feel free
Because
to put that
obviously
in the
we're dirty
comments.
Americans. Like, that totally happens.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I would love to hear it. If one of you is more familiar with dance, or this sounds like something you're really, you've seen before, and we're just being completely unculturally educated.
Yes.
But also, I do recommend, as the two of us have been cramped in this closet together, we've been trying to do this dance
It's
casually,
really funny.
and it's been fucking hilarious. So go ahead and try it with one of your friends. I recommend it.
All right, so thank you very much again, everybody, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also share our videos. And thank you very much to everybody who has done so far.
Yes.
It's actually been fantastic. It's been very helpful.
Lovely.
It saves us a lot from the algorithm, like, really. So also, please feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi, Patreon, and our Twitch. There are links in the description. We'd also love to see you there. And I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies. And it was great playing with you. Bye!